Okay, my friends, here it is. The Sunday morning Thrive stream at the Thrive Like a Viking headquarters, also known as the Garden Like a Viking headquarters. We are up in the cave studio where everything is happening. Guys, hopefully you have a place where you can orchestrate your life, where you can have things out so that a big dry erase board is super useful. Uh, right now everything is still getting rearranged, so I'm not going to try and justify, but it's pretty cluttered right now. But we're in a transitional phase. Okay, so look, all kinds of good stuff on this big dry erase board, very important. That for me, I'm the kind of person that needs to be able to see everything all out in front of me. Yeah, like this, different for the video courses that are going to be made, that are being made, being created, filming this year. So all that kind of stuff. So it's really nice and beneficial to have an area where you can do this at, definitely. I've got a sitting and standing desk to optimize so that I'm not down all the time. I've got a vertical mouse, which has really helped to alleviate the stress, at least for my wrists, of sitting there like that, click, 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 having to so you can just, this is more like a natural handshake movement, so it's really easy and it's real super sensitive. So you barely have to move it at all and it functions. This thing was a game changer. It is wireless, but I prefer wired. It's more responsive. I also got this, I've been having this for like a year. Ergonomic keyboard, game changing, guys. Anything that you're doing repetitively like that, it's worth it. Okay. So let's see what you guys are up to. Let's see who's here. Teats Treats says, I did a practice meditation. LOL. LOL, huh? It says, my thumbnail is telling me I'm an hour late. Ooh, that's, nope. It is 12:09 here. VA Green, hello, my friend. Brian Eri says, hello. Nate and Tribe, Sam Potzik. Val Thatcher says, good morning. Getting ready to grind some meat for the dogs, doing about 65 pounds, enough for a month, hopefully. Nice. What kind of meat? Where do you source it from? Were you hunting, or is it um, organs and stuff like that? Where do you get it from? What kind of dogs do you have? So, Pa Perm or PA Permaculture says, I forgot it changed to Sunday. Aloha. Are you in Hawaii at the moment? Because that is the standard greeting of Hawaii. Lucia Bora from the Netherlands. Hello, my friend, says Nate. Hello, Nate, Tribe, and everyone. Did walk some hours in the woods with the daughter. Now 6:10 in the evening begins. Okay, nice. Oh, 6:10 in the evening. Wonderful. Walking with the daughter. Yes. Sam or Pam from South Africa. Yes. Sitting in the dark here. Power outage back again. 6 hours on, 2 hours off. Ooh. Yes, I remember that from living in Koh Tao in Thailand, where they would just have uh, not enough power. And so they just say, okay, well, we got to shut it off for you guys some of the time. How are you watching this then if you are in the dark? Pop Herm says some forms of climbing beans have small hairs that trap fungus gnats in and they die, act as a living trap. Yes, I can say with confidence, though, actually, that that um, Cape Sundew plant that Teets sent to me is a very good gnat, fungus fly, just a very good little irritating insect trap in the grow room. So I've got it in the big grow tent, not the small grow tent, but I've got it in the big grow tent, and it is thriving. I mean, it is really big, long leaves with dew on it, just dripping with dew, literally dripping. And that thing is eliminating them fungus gnats or anything that is in there. I mean, also the practices, but it's really nice, actually. I can't wait to grow more of those. And so Brian Eri says, I've got all the bells on, but YouTube is not letting me know about your lives on this channel and the other channel. Yes. Well, remember, my friends, this platform is first and foremost a social engineering platform. People think that it's a money-making platform. That's secondary. Just remember that. Yes, Cape Sundew really works. Yes. But I've got it under some really intense lights under 1500 ppfd. Yes. Okay, we're going to get into the meditation here in a little few moments. Pam says, on your phone. Oh, duh, of course. Guys, I've been using AI on this new phones and it's just mind blowing tool. The thing is aware of what is happening. It, it is intelligent. I mean, very intelligent, very intelligent. It's unbelievable. It just blows my mind. Every day since I've been started this whole new push to everything with the new content, the new technology, the new courses, and all of that has just been blowing my mind at how fast everything has progressed. It's crazy. Um, and Teet says, I separated my carnivorous plants. I have more for you to choose from at next consult. Definitely. I will put them in the grow room for sure. Oh yeah, and one more thing, Teets, I did find that carnivorous plant, once I started spraying some fertilizer on its leaves, the same stuff that I give to the um, house plants to grow more, it just, I mean, it just totally like exploded after that. I mean, it really needs that. Some fertilizer sprayed on its leaves every couple weeks. It has just, wait till I show you pictures of it. But let us get ready to get into the meditation, my friends. I'm filming a video for Jerry, our friend. Jerry, the beef farmer, he has got a show, like an art show at the university, and it's like a month long. And he has requested a couple of videos from me showcasing things like the Bates beef, and it's going to be awesome, guys. So I was just down there capturing some of this stuff that's going to be slow mo. Look at that. We're smoking these ribs. I'm going to do it. I did it in 60 frames per second, so we're going to sprinkle that stuff on there, slow it down so that it looks, so that you just see it. Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So, but I wanted to see if there was a picture of the sundew plant, which I'm not seeing it on here at the moment. So, anyways, let us get into the meditation, my friends. So, says, Grow All Year says, Nate, setting on your end, I can't minimize video without it stopping. Have YouTube Premium. Wasn't an issue yesterday. I really don't think so, because I don't have much. I don't have any guests can stream this, play sound. No, I really don't think that it's on my end. Definitely not, actually. There's no recordings. I'm looking at them right now. There's no options for any of that kind of stuff. So it's on your end. Okay, guys. Let us take 3 deep conscious breaths, breathing fully in. Hold. Let it go. Again, breathe deeply as you can. Hold. Let it go. Last one. Fill the lungs deeply as you can. Hold. Hold. Let it go. Now allow the body to breathe however it wants to breathe, naturally and normally. There is no need to do anything, actually, during this meditation. It is more like an undoing. Undo the tension that is in your face. Undo the tension that is in your neck and your shoulders and your arms and your hands. Let go of the tension. Deeply relax the body. Deeply relax. Make no effort to breathe in any particular way. Just let go of all control. Let go of all thoughts that are coming through the mind. Just let them go. There is no need to think about anything in particular right now. Relax the body. Relax the mind in the same way you have relaxed the body. Notice if there is a commentator in the head, the voice inside the head. Just observe whatever it's saying without becoming attached, without following the storyline. There's no need. Just observe. Also observe how the voice in the head is not making any sound, yet you can hear it in the mind. How is this? Don't think about it. Just observe. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I am not trying to focus on one thing in particular. I am releasing the focus to simultaneously feel all things. You feel the air as it flows into the body. You feel the shirt as it moves on your chest, as it expands. You feel the lungs contract and the air fall out of the body. But you also feel the intense sense of aliveness that is in the body. You feel the electricity in the veins. Notice how the mind wants to pull you in different directions. It wants to present images to you, memories or anticipations for the future. Don't allow it. Just observe without becoming engaged. Notice how the very fact that you can observe the mind, you can observe the thoughts, shows to you that you are not the mind. You are not the thoughts. In the same way that a knife cannot cut itself, there must be something else for it to cut. A flame cannot burn itself. There must be something else. The thoughts, the experiences, anything you observe is not what you are. Together, let us take 3 deep conscious breaths, breathing fully in. Hold. Let it go. Again, breathing deep. Hold. Let it go. Last one. Fill the lungs. Hold. Hold. And let it go. Give me one moment. Okay, my friends, I forgot I'm mic'd up, but I was literally rolling sweat down me, just totally ignited, so I had to change. Hopefully this thing still works. Okay, guys, so what I hope for you more than anything is that if you're not doing any of the other practices, the cold training, the sauna therapy, the contrast therapy, the kettlebell training, the drinking of the gallon of water a day, the eating of the life force energy, if you're not doing any of those other things, uh, but you're at least doing the meditation, that's enough. Then I'm happy, is what I'm saying. Because it's the meditation that will lead you to the place where all the answers are. So when we say the mantra at the end, infinite spirit goes before me and opens the way, infinite wisdom tells me what to do and what to say. Now, at first, we have to make space in our life for this to happen because we are not accustomed to living that way. We're accustomed to thinking that I am somebody and that I am in control of things. But that is an illusion, the illusion of control. Instead, we're already being guided. We're just resisting it. We're resisting life. This is the source of the strife, the source of the depression, the source of the self-destructive habits and behaviors, the source of conflict in your relationships, the source of anything that would be labeled as suffering in the Buddhist sense or stress in the modern sense. This comes from our resistance to life, the resistance to what is. Now, immediately, the ego mind says, if I don't resist what is, how will I change anything for the better? You mean you don't have any drive to do anything? You don't want anything to be better than it is? If everything's just fine how it is, then what's the motivation for success or to build or to proliferate? What's the motivation for any of that? It's a clever trick of the ego mind because it thinks that it's in control. It thinks that it's the one that is doing these things, that it's motivating you, that your thoughts, you're strong-arming life. But this is already not the case. So when we learn to get out of the way, then we learn how to be guided by the infinite spirit, which is still already guiding us, but you're resisting it in so many ways. So when you stop the resistance is when life becomes friendly to you and things just happen. Things begin to just happen. Life, because the resistance is gone. No, it shouldn't be this way. Things shouldn't be this way. They have to be this other way. Well, but guess what? They are this way. They are this way. The present, remember this, the present moment is always inevitable because it already is. Just digest that. The present moment is always inevitable because it's already present. So the ego mind thinks that by my resistance, I will be able to strong arm what already is. I know it seems like mental gymnastics, mental spiritual acrobatics, but it's not. It's a framework of understanding reality that once it clicks, the whole contracted energy that I'm a person struggling in the world and that I've got a life, and that I can gain things and I can lose things. That whole sort of energy that comes like around here somewhere is sort of just it just evaporates and everything still happens. Your life still happens, except even supercharged, even more intensely. You have a deep motivation for what infinite spirit wants you to do. It's not what I think I want to do. It's things are just happening because that's what's happening. You listen to the flow of energy. You're guided towards certain things. You're guided towards certain books. You're guided towards certain talks. You're guided towards certain people. You're guided towards certain things. And you don't have to question anymore. So it's in the resistance to life that most people live their entire life, this entire incarnation, in resistance to what is. So if you don't understand what that means, then maybe throughout this next week, do some thought experiments. When you're feeling anything that is that is kind of, when you're feeling stressed or you're feeling friction, think, what am I resisting? What am I resisting right now? And then you'll see the whole storyline that the ego mind goes down. Well, yeah, I'm resisting it, but it's because it needs to change, because I need to blah, 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 blah. Everything still happens. Life still goes on, except in an even more beautiful way, because there's not the friction, the resistance to what is. And your awakening finally arrives. So, Teets says, I did much better today. I used to do meditations when I was in a group therapy. My mind races back there often while meditating. Yes, definitely. One of the best things that the meditations can show us is just the habit patterns of the mind. Because your whole life, you sort of let it go, and it has control over you. It has control over you. If you have control over your mind, then just make it sit still. That's all you got to do. You don't have to actually do anything. Just undo. Just say, only the breathing, nothing else. And people will find immediately they have no control over their mind. So if you don't have control over your mind, how can you actually have any kind of free will? The whole delusion of free will, how could that even be? Because the mind is what's taking you in this way, and then that way, and then that way, and then little brief moments you think you have control over it. The meditation reveals to us all of the things that we need to know. Pop Herm says, same, Teets. I'm getting pretty good at observing thoughts and letting them go, even though I almost never meditate these days. Yes. A couple of thoughts on that. One of them is that there comes a point, if for the sincere practitioner, there comes a point when uh, your entire life becomes a meditation, and the observation of what is, of the thoughts and everything, it sustains itself. It never goes away, without any effort whatsoever. After the sort of disillusion of the sense of self, of being someone, of having a center, once that dissolves, then you can observe everything as it is, as it comes and as it goes. You're observing, The whole life is a meditation. Meditation, really, as we do it here, is a tool. It is a tool. And so just like any other tool, if you had a shovel and the purpose was to dig a hole, you dig the hole, okay? So you use the tool for its purpose, but then you don't just carry around the tool for the rest of your life. You put the tool down. And in a similar way, this type of meditation is to end seeking, to end the sense of lack, to end that subtle whisper in the back of your life that no matter what's happening in your life, there's always that subtle thing in the back of your mind that something's just not quite right, that something's out of place, something is just, I just need something more, something different. I don't know what, but it's just something. No matter what situation you are, the ego mind will always have that in the background. That's the nature of the ego mind, of the separation. It thinks it has become convinced that it has lost something. It's not whole. And that wholeness is to be found out there somewhere, in something, by acquiring something physical or acquiring something spiritual or acquiring new knowledge, blah, blah. The more I acquire, then finally I can release all acquiring. That's the cycle, the illusion. So that's one level. Your whole life becomes a meditation. But then there's another level of when I was teaching at the Buddhist temple, and there's a lot of Buddhists by birth there. And one thing, and there are hundreds of them, Buddhists by birth come from Sri Lanka and stuff. And one thing I immediately noticed is that virtually none of them actually meditate. They go through all the movements of all the rituals and all of the dana, the offerings. They go through all of they can recite Sabidyo Vivajantu Sabro Govinasatu. They can recite all of this, no problem. But the actual what the Buddha taught and practiced, they don't do. The actual meditation, none of them do. In their own life, they'll come to the temple, and like when the monks lead them on a meditation, they'll like sit there with their eyes closed and their legs crossed, but I come to find that virtually none of them actually meditate in their life. It's because that is can be the most difficult thing of all. The easiest thing is to go through the movements, to say, to wear prayer bead, or to wear, the mala, the beads and stuff, or to give. Even giving is super easy. You can just give, especially when in that form of Buddhist thought, there's these things called merit building. So you do meritorious deeds. Okay, that's part of it. Giving, dana. Okay, giving offerings. You feed the monks. You give clothing. You give. These are meritorious deeds, okay, in this structure of thinking. And when you acquire enough meritorious deeds, you will be reborn in higher realms. And the more merits you acquire, the higher the realms you'll be born, until eventually you'll have acquired so much merits that you become enlightened. But that's not in this life. Don't even worry about it. Don't even think about that. Just keep doing all the merit building stuff. Eventually, at some point, you will be worthy enough to gain enlightenment, but in this life, okay? And so it sets up this whole structure of the mind, just like any other religion, just like any other, it's like, it's all delayed, it's all in the future, it's all somewhere else, it's all not here right now. And the whole merit building thing is like I just was observing it and how it functions. And I'm like, okay, but how is that selfless? How is that selfless? You're giving with the underlying, okay, I'm going to be more. I'm going to become enlightened at some point. So it's like a spiritual currency. And it just seemed really paradoxical to me. So, okay, so it's not actually for the giving, it's for yourself, right? So, so it was such a wild time in life seeing all of that. So the let's see here. VA Green says it's all alive, the ego mind, and a result of being programmed from childhood. Absolutely, absolutely. We're programmed deep now. I mean, we're deep into the matrix now, literally into the matrix. You know, man. But do we stress about any of that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Brian says, I have started the big change, and my wife is on this journey with me. Started a 72-hour fast today, onwards and upwards. Thanks, Nate and Tribe. Yes, nice, very nice. Let us know how that goes for you. Definitely. Water fast, huh? Very powerful. Teet says, I am in my, thank you very much for the $5, my friend. I appreciate that. Says, I am in my greenhouse. I kept focusing on the timer for my grow light clicking rapidly. Not totally lolly relaxed, but it helps. Is that cheating? uh, so at first, it doesn't, at first the mind can be so active, and I feel like yours probably is, very active. And so we call it in spiritual training and Buddhist training and things, the monkey mind. Like if you've ever been to a country that has monkeys, that they're just like boom, 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 jump down, steal your bananas, steal your mangoes, and blah, and then jump back up into the trees and fight with each other, and then they hop over here and hop over there. So it never sits still, and it's unpredictable, and it's just all over the place, and it blah. So that that is the state of most people's mind, especially the untrained mind. Because remember, you become good at whatever you practice. Whatever you practice, you become good at. And so most people don't even realize that they've practiced just allowing the mind to take it wherever they want to go, because they don't even know that there's a separation, that they think that it's me, but it's not you, it's the mind. So at first, it can be very helpful to have meditation objects. Okay, for example, the breathing. Now, that's the one that's been used since time immemorial, because it is always with you. It is always with you, and it is one of the beautiful things to work with, because it's the only process of the body that can be both, that is involuntary but can be voluntary as well. So it bridges the gap between what appears to be out of the reach of the body or the mind, but also is in the reach. You can manipulate it. You can't do that with any other process. You can't speed up your digestion with your mind. Okay, I'm going to digest really fast. Or you can't like circulate your blood. Okay, I'm going to crank up my blood circulation right now. It doesn't work like that. But the breathing, you can do both. So it's a really unique tool. So you focus on that. Give the mind something to attach to, the sensation of air. Now, there's many other meditations, though. There can be mantra meditations. For a very active mind, there can be mantra meditations. Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om. Like this, 108 times. Yeah, 1,080 times. These are all sort of traditional things. And you sort of give the mind something to do, to attach itself, to stabilize itself, which this is fine at first if you need this. Very, very useful. A meditation object. Some people, and I've done all of these over the years, of course, have a candle. Oops. You can have a candle, and you focus on the image of the candle as you're meditating. You can sort of look at the image and you engross yourself in the image, or it can be an image of a guru, the Buddha, Krishna, things, many different things. You can have a prayer beads and you can say the mantra, yes, like this. Now, I've done all of these things over the years, of course, and this is how I know that they have their place. But let us say, for example, these. Now, we would start here at this one. Yeah, here is the foundational one. We would start here, and every time we did a chant, we would Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om. Every time we click another one, Om Mani Padme Om. Or if we don't understand that language, we can do something even more useful for ourselves. So, Infinite Spirit goes before me and opens the way. Infinite Spirit goes before me and opens the way. Infinite Spirit goes before me and opens the way. Infinite Spirit goes before me and opens the way. We can do like that. We can do anything that we want to change about ourselves as well. We could do things of gratitude, thankful, grateful, blessed. 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 You say that like that and you begin to absorb and become that. It's magnificent. So these are all wonderful things to help at first. But here's the thing. You have to eventually give up all of that. All of those crutches have to eventually be given up because they're just another way to attach to something. So ultimately, even the breathing we have to give up. We give it all up and we absorb ourself entirely into all that is until there's no separation. There's no longer a separation. So, but at first it can be very helpful. Yeah. So VA Green says, seems to serve more of a purpose for the church religion than it does for the person. Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely does this. I always like to use the analogy. Let us say that there was somebody who had a beautiful smile, just a really beautiful smile. Now we know that smiles happen spontaneously, right? That you can't force a smile and it looks forced, but a beautiful smile, a laughter is spontaneous. Yes, it doesn't come from anywhere. It just is what it is. Now, let us suppose that there was a group of people that saw this person with this beautiful, spontaneous smile. And they said, oh my gosh, so beautiful. Can you teach us? And the person's like, well, there is no method. It's spontaneous. It's a smile. It just is. And they're, oh, okay. So they're writing it all down. Then after the person dies or goes away or something, then they're like, they develop this system. They say, okay, how to smile spontaneously. You have to hold your mouth like this, okay? And then you have to show your teeth, and then you have to look this way. Okay, so then they all start practicing how to smile spontaneously. And everyone's got this spontaneous smile that is just missing it. They're just missing it because it's not spontaneous. It's not real. It's forced. It's practiced. So they developed this whole big, long religion around the smile. The one who spontaneously smiled. No, you can spontaneously smile by realizing. So that's really what it all felt like. It all just kind of started to feel really silly. All of after the sort of the disillusion happened, then it was like I was still teaching the meditation, doing all the things with the Buddhist temple and stuff, but it just felt really silly. Like, okay, well, it's not necessary anymore. It's just not necessary because now we're awake. And so that was a trip. I mean, that was really, but then, yeah, it definitely helps because people, the more you donate, the more spiritual, dana, these are merits are like spiritual currency. So the more you donate, the more spiritual currency you're going to get. You know what I mean? But I'm not saying that it's bad in any way. Because it's still people are giving. It's super positive. I mean, the Buddhist temple, and all of the people, the gatherings, everything is. You can feel the love. It's a wonderful, beautiful thing. Let me be very clear about that, okay? Um, and very positive for for society, very positive. Even when I went to Sri Lanka and I observed, and I was there for that time, and I was observing how intimately tied the temple is with the villagers and their day-to-day activities, and it's just amazing, the community. Now, all of that is wonderful, but for me personally, there came a time when I said, okay, is that as high as it is? Is that, where do you go from there? And that's when it all started to fall apart. You have to give up all of that as well. When you examine it deeper, it all just falls apart. So, VA Green says, so are the beads just more for strengthening your focus and ability to control the ego mind till the beads aren't necessary? Yes, essentially, yes. Now, it depends who you talk to, though. Many people will think that, okay, there's actual, you're saying these things and there's actual, you're gaining merits, you're gaining blessings and things like this. That's fine if you want to believe that. I come to the understanding that it is a tool to focus the mind, and prepare it for real meditation. So yes, if your mind is very active at first, you can get yourself a thing of beads, and you can come up with, and you can have different ones, and ones of things that you want to fix in your life or heal in yourself. We used to do metta meditation, metta bhavana. So the loving kindness meditation. Yes. May my mother be well, happy, and peaceful. May my mother be well, happy, and peaceful. May my father be well, happy, and peaceful. May my brother be well, happy, and peaceful. May my neighbors be well, happy, and peaceful. Maybe the girl at the store be well, happy, and peaceful. So you expand it like that. Yes, there's so many different techniques, but they're all doing the same thing. They are training the mind to focus to prepare you for the final meditation. Yes, exactly. The Choctaw Carver. I'm not sure how you say that exactly. You keep changing your name. Wasn't it Hamburger Hippie and stuff like that? You guys can't change your name that much here because that's the only way I know you. It says, I find that everything is a meditation. You can meditate even when talking to other people in a crowd. Absolutely. Absolutely. Your whole life becomes a meditation. And even things that seem like from an outward perspective, like, oh, you might be angry, or oh, he's angry, or oh, it's stressed out. It's not actually the case. It's just a functioning of the organism. It's just, you're still observing. You're just the observer. Andre says, it appears that many people have a natural sense of calm within them, while others need to find different ways to strengthen their focus and control during meditation. Definitely, yes, yes, this is the case. Some people take to it really easily. Some people need a lot more focus and work at first, but it's still the same mind. So you will eventually come to the point when you don't need anything. You don't need anything. You can just immediately here we are, perfectly awake. Yes, thank you, Aaron Johnson. Says, I did enjoy the loving kindness meditation you had. Yes, I have a video, I think, on this channel of several years ago now of me. We just recorded one of the loving kindness meditations. So it's there's not like music and all that kind of stuff. It's just like, this is how we did it. At the temple, people would come and we would do this, and you could check that out. But man, when I watch that kind of stuff now, it's a whole different incarnation of myself virtually. It just is like it's just amazing. It's just amazing. What's up, my friend Bonnie? What's up, Bonnie? Bonnie Bell. Good. So we'll be seeing you guys in about 5 weeks. Yes. Hello, Leslie. Good to see you here. VA Green says, I find now I recognize pretty quickly with my ego mind as being triggered by something, and just a few deep breaths, I can get my center back most of the time. Absolutely. This is the beauty of the practice. When we practice doing exactly this, then we become good at this. So in particular things, it can expedite the results if you do something of high stress, like ice bathing or sauna therapy. Then you train yourself, boom, and you got the center. You've got the center back. Also through the meditations, just 5-10 minutes a day is all it takes. And you will be amazed at how quickly the mind can reorganize itself. The habit patterns can recondition themselves. So, oh, nice. Fabrizio, going to Yosemite today. Nice. Have a good time, my friend. So, guys, we will be doing a live stream tomorrow on Gardner Scott's channel. So you guys should all be there. And I know most of you are available. Don't act like you're not, because we used to do this on Mondays at that time. So I would like to see you all there. We can support Scott and that live stream. That would be really good, because he gave us a good live stream. And man, that was terrible. The audio yesterday, huge issue, wasn't it? That's just ridiculous and unprofessional, in my opinion, and unacceptable. But we had to learn, so now we know. Today, the earbuds are going to be delivered, even though I'm not about beaming Bluetooth into your ears. When I'm working, it's okay. When I'm doing the interviews, I'll put the AirPods in, and we will. That will take care of it. So we had to learn the hard way, because I went back and listened to it and it sounded terrible. So that was unfortunate. But Lita Knows says, so glad I tuned in today. Peripheral chaos interrupting my peace. Much needed this. Oh, yes. That's a good way to put it. Peripheral chaos. Yes. Interrupting my peace. Yes. The chaos is out here. Bzz, bzz, all these things that are happening. Bzz, bzz, bzz. We take the breath. We regain our center, and we observe. We observe. And when you observe it, the disassociation happens. That's what the whole thing is about. That once the split happens, whew, it's like you come to realize you are the ultimate observer, and that you can choose to become involved with this storyline if you want. And you can choose the degree to which you want to become involved with the storyline, but it doesn't overwhelm you and stress you out and all these depress you. It doesn't do any of that. Nothing has the power to do that for you. So, yes. Okay. Thank you, guys. Well, yeah. The inner circle tribe, I knew wasn't going to have a problem with it. Says it was okay. The knowledge was shared. Yes, it was. Thank you. Thank you, Teets. But from my perspective, that was unacceptable. And so we will make sure that that doesn't happen again, because we've got Sean from Edible Acres coming on March 8th. On March 22nd, we've got Nick, the worm farming expert. April 5th, we've got Gary Pilarchik from The Rusted Garden, like 1 million subs. And on April 19th, we've got David the Good. And tentatively, May 17th, we have Matt from Shooting the Soil scientist, microscope guy. So we've got a couple more available, though. If you guys have other people that you would like to see on the gardening channel, hit them up and hit me up. Let me know. Make the connection. Someone said Weedy Garden. I'll have to hit them up and see. It's hard to get a hold of these guys. It really is. I have to send multiple emails and stuff because you get bombarded with all kinds of, hey, Garden Like a Viking, let's collaborate. And it's all these companies and stuff like that. Oh, everybody wants a piece of the audience, you know? Everybody wants a piece of the attention span. But you got to like, you got to block out all the noise and say, no, no, no. I'm not pimping out my tribe like that, you know? Select things are acceptable. But you know what? I'm at the point now where I'm only going to be promoting basically my own stuff. So I'm not even, it's, yeah. So I'm going on the, so many things are happening, guys. I've had to, I sent off the fertilizer to get a guaranteed analysis at the laboratory here in town. You know, you have to abide by the uniform fertilizer bill, have to show the 5 things: product, brand, guaranteed analysis. You have to do it in a certain way. I have to register it with the uh, Purdue University, blah, blah, blah. These people, all these hoops you got to jump through in order to sell the fertilizer, you know, but I feel it's the best way. I can't do it like I did last year and just like keep selling it because, you know, it has to be legitimized. And so there's all the steps that you got to go through. And I'm trying to make all these courses, and I'm trying to make content constantly, you know, every week of videos and stuff. So if I didn't have these skills, or if I didn't have the ability to, I would easily be overwhelmed, you know, but none of it overwhelms me at all. You can just, how do you eat an elephant? There's a saying in India that says, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And it's that simple. You just take the one bite at a time. One bite at a time. Not a problem, because it doesn't overwhelm me, because I don't take it on. I just observe it, everything that's happening. So, that is some things that are happening, guys. We got all them guys coming, and then we've got making the fertilizers. Oh, and the whole time I'm making the gardenlikeaviking.com, which I'm learning to do all of that and making these templates, and I'm learning whole new editing software, Premiere Pro. You know, so there's so much, but it's a wonderful feeling. It's, I mean, it's wonderful. You know, it's just the next logical way. But it's not me trying to do anything. It's just what's happening. It's just coming to me and happening. And it's time, and I'm being led to these things. Infinite Spirit is going before me and is opening the way and is showing me. It showed me the website to build my own website. It showed me exactly. It just brings you to all this stuff without you doing anything. It's an effortless way of living. And that sounds paradoxical, and it sounds made up, and it sounds like a bit of a jive, you know, but it's not. It's actually the Tao, Wu Wei, effortless action. Yes. So it really is. All these things are still happening. That's the thing. All these things are still happening without any I don't know how to describe it. I have to think of it more. Anarchy Acres Farmstead. I haven't seen that comment. You commenting before. Good to see you here. It says, I use that quote often. Talking about the elephant, it's so true. How to eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Because if you think, how are we going to eat this whole thing? But you don't have to think that. You just think about this bite. Yeah? So, yeah, I mean, there's many other ways, you know. How does the journey of 1,000 miles, or the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step? That's right. The only thing that you can actually do is that step that you're taking at the moment. The whole mind made, there's 1,000 miles ahead of me. Well, all you actually are doing is one step, another step, another step, this step. So VA Green says, it'll be cool to see what the analysis comes out to. Yeah, well, that's kind of what I wanted to talk to people about on the gardening channel, but I didn't get a chance because we had the guest. You know, it come back in number. It's just such, I'm learning so much. It's so ridiculous how they do these fertilizers and stuff, because we're having to play by the rule set of industrial ag complex. You know, so it has to test for available phosphorus. They legally cannot test for total phosphorus. So they have to test for available phosphorus. because that's what they do with the all the industrial ag chemicals. So the numbers look totally out of whack. It's like a 3-2-6, which most people would see that and go, oh, that doesn't have enough phosphorus in it. There's plenty of phosphorus in it. I've known this for, there's plenty of everything in it, but it's not immediately available because it relies on microbial decomposition. So the whole testing system is just whack. And I'm going to make a video about it eventually, about how whack the whole process is and how the guaranteed analysis doesn't tell you much of anything, because that's just immediate. And all my ingredients are specifically chosen in those ratios to be slow release, to be microbial decomposition, to release over time. It's not like the chemical products that just flood the soil and wash out of the soil. But guess what? You can't legally test for total phosphorus. It has to be available phosphorus. So, okay. So it's like, now the people, when they see that, they're going to think, oh, that's a weak fertilizer. But they have no idea. It's amazing. And I don't even need to justify it or try and sell it or anything. I've years of experience. So that's the thing. It's like, man, do I adjust the recipe to get those numbers different? Do I put more, like in my gardener's got his trifecta plus. He's got 5, 10, 6, something like that. To get that 10, it has to be like mostly bone meal. I mean, most of his thing has got to be bone meal. But it's also not totally organic. He's got urea in there and things, but so that's things that have to process in the background of my mind, is to see, okay, so do I just keep the recipe as is? That's what my heart is telling me to do. Just keep the recipe as is, because your experience is way more valuable than whatever the numbers are. But is that going to market? Is that going to market? Because people don't understand that. But I don't know. Have to just play around with it. Have to let that that's how I do things. So I set that question out to the ether and just let it play in the background. And then the right thing comes through the heart. Yeah. Thank you, my friend. $2 says, oh, shoot. Edible Acres finally. Yes. March 8th, he will be here. So make sure that you guys get your questions in line. Yeah, I will have my earbuds by then, so there won't be no echo. Anarchy says, I follow the garden channel and just discovered this one. Love it. Nice. Let us know if you have any content ideas that you would like us to discuss. Today we just wung it, but sometimes I like to have a specific thing that we think about, that we discuss. And one thing that I've realized by watching other people's live streams is how awesome this community is, this and on the gardening channel, because you guys are all like giving each other advice and like know each other and stuff like that. And it's just really cool. The community here is unique in that sense. You watch other people's live streams and it's more just a bunch of individuals asking questions. It's just different. You guys are all like, hey, and know each other. So I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, Taylor Rindle says, just joining the live late. Are we talking about gardening? Do not believe in soil test if that's what we are talking about. Oh, yeah. No, we ain't testing no soil. I'm talking about getting the fertilizer legitimized. And so, meaning legal. So you have to get a guaranteed analysis. And the numbers come back not what I know that they are. There's plenty of phosphorus. So anyways, but people will see that last number and say, oh, that's really high in potassium. Why is it got to be so high? Because that's the ticket. That's the ticket to having super healthy, resilient plants. Having a way more potassium than you think that you need. That's more roots, more fruits. I mean, I know what we're doing here. Okay. So Teach says, just put a disclaimer on the label. We will buy it regardless of what the label says. Yeah, but this is the ground floor of like, this has to be an actual, this will be like an actual revenue stream in the future. I'm getting it all set up, but eventually I'm not going to be the one mixing it in my shop like I am now, putting it in the buckets and me taking it to FedEx. That's that's only now in the beginning. It's got to be a self-sustaining thing that happens, in the future, because we got to finance the land somehow. So it's going to be the fertilizer and the courses and whatever else. So we'll see. Yes. Okay. Yes. Good. Keep the recipe. Can't wait to purchase for the first time. Thank you, Taylor. Brian says, keep the recipe the same. Yes. Thank you. Lita knows says, yes. Results prove. Okay. Good. Yes. I am the frugalist. Says, let the product speak the truth. Yes. Definitely. Ooh, yeah. Definitely. I'll have a place on the website, gardenlikeaviking.com, which is not live yet, but that where you guys can leave your reviews. That will be fantastic. Yes. So yes, my friend. Yes, yes, yes. This is what we like to see, guys. It would be great to see everybody. Oh yeah, for sure. And we will have yeah, it'll be cool. There will be like an originals, retreat or something, a weekend retreat or a 3 or 4 day retreat, something like that. We'll have retreats constantly. There will be, courses offered. So it's going to be fantastic. VA Green, keep it as it is. Going to be knowledgeable gardeners that buy your product. The rest are going to hit the Home Depot anyways. That's very true. That's very true. It is a specialty product. It's very true. If you want something, go get Miracle Grow Organics, or whatever, which is dramatically inferior product. But yeah, it's true. It's true. There will be. It's a slow release phosphorus, soft rock phosphate, and many things. But it's all about that microbial decomposition. So, yes, Aaron, that'll be amazing. That'll be awesome to see you guys in person. Okay, guys. So here we are. It's true. VA Green says, I think those numbers are in line with most good organic fertilizer. They are, yeah. That typically you would want to see like a 2, 5, 4, something like, there's typically like the spike, but the total is exactly appropriate. I know that. I don't need a laboratory analysis to tell me that, because the results, but what they don't, it's just crazy how you have to play by those rules. And I was even asking the chemist. I was there at the company, big warehouse, professional A&L laboratories, and I asked them, okay, so does this take into consideration microbial decomposition? And he was like, no. And I was like, okay, but because, not much of it's going to be available right away. It relies on the soil food web. And he was just kind of like, he just didn't even know what I was talking about. He could only think in terms of chemistry, He's like, well, we got to test for available, that's the only test we can do that we do legally. And so I was like, wow, man, he works at a agriculture center, and he doesn't even understand what I'm talking about the phosphorus will become more available through microbial decomposition. Okay. Okay. I mean, that's how deep we are, that's how deep we are, guys. So, okay, my friends, we will see you next time. Infinite Spirit goes before me and opens the way. Infinite wisdom tells me what to do and what to say. Infinite Spirit goes before me and opens the way. Infinite wisdom tells me what to do and what to say. Infinite Spirit goes before me and opens the way. Infinite wisdom tells me what to do and what to say.